It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the Dictionary, hosted by me, Spencer. This is episode F57, and wouldn't you know it, you can still write a review to review this show on the iTunes, Apple Podcasts, the Spotify, wherever you want to do it. You can watch this show on YouTube. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like and do all those wonderful things. Yeah. You can email me, dictionarypod@gmail.com. You can follow my social media at dictionarypod, also at Speejampar, SPEJAMPAR. You can call the Google Voice number, 917-727-5757. And I think that's fine for right now. So, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about here in this episode, it's going to be a little long. The first word in this episode is fidge, F-I-D-G-E. This one is an intransitive verb from 1575. It is chiefly Scottish, and the synonym is fidget. Fidget, similar possibly to fiddling. What did we see in the previous episode? Just fiddling around. I think you're such a fiddlehead. But no, this was fidget, and we're coming up to that real soon. Let's see. From the not much in the etymology, so we're just gonna go whoa. The next word is the first form of fidget. Fidget, noun from 1674. Number 1, uneasiness or restlessness as shown by nervous movements. This is usually used in plural. We say, I got the fidgets. I got the fidgets. Number 2 is one that fidgets. The fidgeter is fidgeting because they got the fidgets. Let's see. Irregular from fidge, but fidge is not much from Middle English fidgetin', so I don't know where this word comes from really, but I think a lot of us got the fidgets. Maybe those of us who are on the ADHD spectrum, or possibly the autism spectrum, or none of those. And you just got the whatevers. You gotta move. You gotta do some stuff. Sometimes I'll do some drumming on a table, on a something. Some drumming on a something. Sometimes I'll make some sounds with my mouth when I'm feeling kind of fidgety. Are we going to see that one? Yeah, that one's coming up. So let's keep on going. Whoa. The second form of fidget. This one is the verb from 1754, starting with intransitive. To move or act restlessly or nervously. I should do lots of fidgeting during this episode. Number 2, that was intransitive. Here's transitive. To cause, to move, or act nervously. So you are putting the action on something else. You're making something else fidget about. Whoa. Fidgety, adjective from circa 1736. Number 1, inclined to fidget. Are you a fidgety person? Can you be described as fidgety? Then you are inclined to fidget. Number 2, making unnecessary fuss. The synonym is fussy. You're dealing with the thing a little bit more than you need to. You're messing with it, fidgeting with it. Being all fussy about a thing. Maybe if you're kind of a perfectionist, you could be fussy and fidgety. Fidgetiness is a noun. You just have to have fun saying it that way. Fidgetiness. Anything else about fidgety? Yeah, like I get kind of fidgety. Or I will fidget about. I don't know. I guess I'm not as fidgety as some people. I don't know why I'm overemphasizing the word fidgety. But yeah, it's just a thing that some of us have to deal with. We need that's why there are fidget spinners, fidget toys, things that are literally called this. Things that you can click, spin, do some stuff with. Just so you got your fingers can be doing something. Because I don't know, some of our brains are just wired that way, and we gotta always be doing something. Okay, maybe I get some of my fidgetiness out with this show. I should be extra, although I can't hit this and I can't hit this, can't knock over those things, so I'll be careful. My sound effect should come with some fidgets. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now we have the word fido, Fido, the most stereotypical name for a dog. Although, do people actually call their dog Fido anymore? Noun from 1967. A coin having a minting error. Oh, they screwed up that coin. It's now worth 1% more of what it was supposed to be worth. Sometimes there's double prints. Sometimes they're printed backwards, I guess. That's probably not very common. I think the double print is more common. But yes, I've heard oh, there's that one type of coin that is so rare to find because it's a fido. What's a fido? It stands for it's an acronym. It's one of them acronym-y things like radar, sonar, laser. It stands for freaks, irregulars, defects, and oddities. Oh, I've never heard of this before, and this now might be one of my favorite phrases and words. Freaks, irregulars, defects, and oddities. Those are my types of people. If you are one of those, if you're a Fido, you're cool. You're cool with me. Freaks, irregulars, defects, and oddities. There must be some specific thing that is connected to coins with all those words, but I don't know. We gotta put a link in the show notes for Fido. Freaks, irregulars, defects, and oddities. Okay, that was fun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we have fiducial or fiducial or fiducial. Adjective from 1571. I think we're talking about money. We got a few more words like this, and it's not stuff that I'm aware of. So, fiducial, number 1, taken as standard of reference, and the example is a fiducial mark. Taken as standard of reference. Whatever. Let's move on. Number 2, founded on faith or trust. Ooh. Faith, well, this is being connected to the words that we had in the previous one, fidelity and fideism, because those were all about faith. So, founded on faith or trust. And they all have the FID prefix. They all start that way, so that's where the faith part of the etymology comes in. So something is founded on faith or trust. Maybe a relationship is fiducial in that way. 3, having the nature of a trust. The synonym is fiduciary, which is coming up. Having the nature of a trust. So is this the literal trust? Literal, I put in quotes. When you put a property, an account or something into a trust, is that what this is? It seems like it would be, because I know trust and fiducial deal with money and accounts and assets and stuff like that. I guess, well, and maybe we'll learn more when we get to fiduciary, which is coming up real soon. So let's say fiducially is an adverb. That's kind of a silly word to say. Fiducially. Sounds funny. I like it. I like all those funny sounding words. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we have the first form. Here it is, fiduciary. It is a noun from 1631. You can say fiduciary, fiduciary, fiduciary. That last one, don't try that one. This is one that holds a fiduciary relation or acts in a fiduciary capacity. And a fiduciary capacity might be connected to our next word. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's the second form of fiduciary. Adjective from circa 1641. I think to make this word sound extra fun, you really got to emphasize the do. Fiduciary. This one is of, relating to, or involving a confidence or trust. So this, I think, could be the trust, the account, the thing that you're putting the stuff in, or, the literal, I got to stop using the word literal in these contexts. The trust between people, which I'm sure is where the trust came from. Relating to or involving a confidence or trust. So, yes, I think you could have a fiduciary relationship with somebody that's based in trust. As there are sub-definitions for this. We got A, held or founded in trust or confidence. B, holding in trust. C, depending on public confidence for value or currency, as in fiduciary fiat money. And fiat money, is up here, money that is not convertible into coin or specie of equivalent value. So, depending on public confidence for value or currency. So it's like the public decides what this thing is worth. Fiduciary fiat money is paper money that can't be converted into coins, and the public says the value. I don't know. I might be butchering this so terribly. But okay, we got some idea of what's going on, I guess. This is from the Latin fiducia, which means confidence or trust. And that's mostly it. Also fidere, which I think was like to have faith or something. Let's see. Fidere, to trust. To trust, yes, of course. Okay, so now, was there anything else for this one? I think that's it for that one. I think you got a better idea of fiduciary and fiducial and those things. So now we're gonna go FIE. F-I-E. The next three-letter section, F-I-E. This is an interjection from the 14th century, and it is used to express disgust or disapproval. Well, it's from the 14th century, but I do think that now in the 21st century, we should really be saying FI when we are disgusted or disapproving, disgusted by something or disapproving of something. Oh, fi. Oh, fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-fi. I've never heard anybody. This seems like, I don't know, the giant in Jack and the Beanstalk, he said some fee-fi-fo-fum. So maybe the fi was like, I am so disgusted at the blood of this English man. Whoa. Now we got fief, F-I-E-F. Noun from circa 1611. Number 1, a feudal estate, and the synonym is fee. Go back a ways. There were a number of words that I already talked about fees and feuds and feudals and all those things. Number 2, something over which one has rights or exercises control, as in a politician's fief. Politician's fief, something over which, so the politician has control over this area. Usually, maybe they're a politician for a district, a state, a country, a something like that, and so it's their fief. Fiefdom is a noun. Yep, there's more at the word fee, F-E-E. Go check that one out, please, and thank you, and goodbye. All right, now we have our last word, which is a big word. Boom, 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 boom. It's the word field, F-I-E-L-D. First form noun from before the 12th century. There are 2 more forms which will be in the next episode. So, field. Who knew that the field had so many definitions? 1A1, an open land area free of woods and buildings. Are the only things that it's free of? Maybe there's other things that it doesn't have. No, not a lot of trees or no trees and no buildings. Nothing that's in the way of the grasses. 1A2, an area of land marked by the presence of particular objects or features, as in dune fields. So are these fields of dune? The dunes are the specific objects or features. Fields of wheat, fields of hay, fields of elves. It's Christmas time when I'm recording this, so, that Santa and stuff is on the brain. 1B1, an area of cleared enclosed land used for cultivation or pasture, as in a field of wheat. There it is. An area of cleared enclosed land for cultivation or pasture. Well, now, I feel like this field of wheat could be similar to the previous one, where it's the particular feature or object. Then there's a whole bunch of it. Oh my God, where even are we? 1B2, I think. Land containing a natural resource. Just any sort of natural resource. That's the grasses and water, I guess. A whole big area of water could be a field of water. Trees, oil, things that grow, things that naturally occur. A field of fern. 1B3, the synonym is airfield, where the planes come and go. When they leave for work in the morning, and then they come back and they say, honey, I'm home. I just flew in, and boy, are my arms tired. 1C, the place where a battle is fought. Also the synonym battle. The battlefield. There are places around the world where battles have been fought. These fields, usually they're fighting in a field. Maybe not so much forests or other things. The fields seem like a good place to do battles, I guess. And then there are lots of dead bodies and things there. Are there fields that are there ghosts in these fields? I sure hope so. Although not for the ghosts. I think that they need to let go and, head on off to wherever they go to. Now we have 1D, a large unbroken expanse, as of ice. You might call that an ice field. And where might the ice field be? In a very cold place on top of water. It used to be a lake, and now it's an ice field. 2A, an area or division of an activity, subject, or profession. Okay, we are not talking about the literal spaces of land anymore. We are talking about where the thing that you do. What field do you work in? I guess I'm in the sort of video techie world as my job. And I also, as my side gig, I'm in the podcast field. And another thing that I'm working on is to be in the movie field. We don't really call it the field or the podcast field. I think we should. Oh, it's just a field of podcasters with their microphones. A field of VHSs. A field of movie projectors. You do need a field to play at the drive-in movie. You need a field for that to park your cars. I have never been to a drive-in movie, and this is very sad. 2B, the sphere of practical operation outside a base as a laboratory, office, or factory. The example is geologists working in the field. On the Podcastologies, there's a lot of scientists on that podcast, and so there's a lot of talk about working in the field. When they got to go into the physical place, the actual place where their work is done. That's the field. So what was it again? The sphere or practical operation outside a base, outside of the laboratory, outside of the office. Maybe that's where they're doing some work, checking out their research, working on the computer, taking the stuff from the field and working on it in the lab, looking at it under the microscope. But they got to go somewhere to get that stuff. Maybe they're studying the primates of Madagascar. That's out in the field. I don't have a field like that because I'm not a scientist first and foremost. But I think it would be interesting to go out in the field, do some work, do some science. Now we have 2C. An area for military exercises or maneuvers. They just need a big place to practice their things, their maneuvers, their military maneuvers. Do they make pyramids? Human pyramids, maybe. 2D1. An area constructed, equipped, or marked for sports. You can't do anything here on this field other than sports. The soccer, the football, hurling, field hockey. Probably going to see that in the next episode. Nothing but sports here in this field. Here in this field, we got all the sports. It would be funny to watch them play all at the same time. Double, triple booked sports. Now we have 2D2. The reason it's so confusing to figure out where I'm at is because it's not like that they rewrite 2D2. They just write the 2, and you got to know by reading through the whole thing that you've done 2D already. Okay, this 2D2. 2D2 is the portion of an indoor or outdoor sports area enclosed by the running track and on which field events are conducted. Yep, it's just another sportsy field thing. 2D3. Any of the 3 sections of a baseball outfield, and the example is hits to all fields. Well, I don't think you can hit a baseball to go to all the fields, but I think we're talking about center field, right field, and left field. Those are all in the outfield of the baseball area. When I would get up to bat in, say, junior high, all the people in the outfields would come to the infields because they didn't think I would hit it very, very far, but I did hit it far once. Now we're on number 3. A space on which something is drawn or projected, as 3A. The space on the surface of a coin, metal, or seal that does not contain the design. So I guess there's just some empty space on one of those, and that's called the field. The space on the surface of a coin, metal, or seal that does not contain the design. And let's just go back to number 3, the original number 3, a space on which something is drawn or projected. So let's say you got a coin, but it hasn't been printed yet. It's not a fido. That whole empty space, I guess, would be the field. And then they put the design on there. They engrave it, they etch it, whatever they're doing, they put it on that face. And then the rest of the space that's not been worked on is still the field. There's a little field left. Okay, now we have 3B, the ground of each division in a flag. The ground of each division in a flag. So a flag has maybe stripes or shapes or something, and so are each of those the divisions? So like on the American flag, we've got the 13 stripes, so would each one of those be a division? And then there's the blue space with all the stars, but what's the ground? That I don't know. 3C, the whole surface of an escutcheon. And I can't quite remember what an escutcheon is, and I don't want to go look back, but it's a thing. That's a thing. It's a thing. Number 4, the individuals that make up all or parts of the participants in a contest, especially all participants, with the exception of the favorite or the winner in a contest where more than 2 are entered. How many contests are there just 2 people? I mean, I guess when you get down to 2 people, then it's just 2 people. But we're basically talking about the masses. Everybody who is unimportant. They are not the ones who are probably going to win. They're just the field. It's this person against the field. Number 5. The area visible through the lens of an optical instrument may be a microscope. What can you see through the microscope? That is the field. Nothing beyond that. It's technically there. You got the glass that you're looking at on the microscope, and there's a whole lot of space there, but only the part that you can see in that moment is the field. What do you see in the field? I see some little things squiggling about. Number 6A, a region or space in which a given effect exists, and the effect could be magnetism. The magnetic field is a thing that we say. 6B, a region of embryonic tissue capable of a particular type of differentiation, as in a more phogenetic field. Whoa, I do not know what we're talking about here. A region of embryonic tissue capable of a particular type of differentiation. Okay, so I think maybe this is saying that when the embryo is growing, a certain part of that body, that tissue, has the capability to grow into another part, can grow into a stomach, into a brain, into a hand, into a nose. And so it's a phogenetic field. It's like, oh, it just literally has the capability to grow into something. Interesting. Number 7. Ooh, this is a big one. A set of mathematical elements that is subject to 2 binary operations, the second of which is distributive relative to the first, and that constitutes a commutative group under the first operation and also under the second if the 0 or unit element under the first is omitted. Oh, the math people, they know what's going on, but I don't. Number 8, a complex of forces that serve as causative agents in human behavior. Let's read that one again. A complex of forces that serve as causative agents in human behavior. So these are the things that make us do what we do, the reason that we have our behavior and our personality, the things that make us fidgety. What I need an example here. It's the complex of forces. So it's external forces cause you to do something. Internal forces, your emotions, how you react to things. Are these all of this some kind of field? An example sentence, please, and thank you. Number 9, a series of drain tiles and an absorption area for septic tank outflow. I guess, yeah, in the septic tank world, they have a thing called the field. Number 10, a particular area as of a record in a database in which the same type of information is regularly recorded. I guess I was thinking of like an Excel spreadsheet and the cells, but those are called cells, not fields. But also like when you're filling out the form online, each one of those boxes, you'd maybe call it a field. You got to fill out the telephone field. Is it required or is it optional? It should be optional because I shouldn't have to give out my telephone number all the time. Okay, we have now one phrase, which is from the field. And this is in-field goals as opposed to free throws. And the example is made 40% of his shots from the field. And we are talking about basketball. The B-ball. Um, Field goals as opposed to free throws. So is it literally just any basket that is made that's not a free throw when you're standing there and everybody's looking at you? They're looking at you bounce the ball, and you got all the time in the world. You could take as much time as you want to bounce and prepare and bounce and prepare and think, oh, am I going to throw it? No, okay, those are free throws. Nobody's coming at you. But the field goals are those literally any other shot taken from the floor? Are 3-point shots field goals, or just regular 2-point shots field goals? I don't know. And it's weird because we got field goals in football, American football as well. So that's kind of confusing. Okay. So much stuff. What's the etymology for field? From Old High German feld, which means field. From Old English flur, which means floor. Yeah, I mean, it's just a flat surface. And there's more of the word floor. There was some old like comedy routine where somebody was talking about people playing with a pig skin, and they were on a cow pasture, and I feel like he might have mentioned field in there. It was basically somebody describing American football, and they didn't know what it was, and it was very silly. Made me think of that. Okay. Now is the time for the word of the episode, and here we go. We had fidge, fidget, fidget, fidgety, fido, fiducial, fiduciary, fief, and field. Oh, my throat is raw. I am going to pick fido as the word of the episode. Never heard of this one. It's from 1967. I don't know if this is where the dog name came from. Where did the dog name come from? I don't know. But I like this one because freaks and irregulars and defects and oddities make up Fido. We are all Fidos. All right, that's it for the words, and now I'm going to tell you about a couple of movies. We watched, two very different movies. First, we watched Red, White, and Royal Blue because Sharon's friend's cousin is the lead in it. He has been in a number of TV shows and movies, and he's just some guy from the south side of Chicago who is a very good actor, and I think people find him quite attractive, and he has made a big name for himself. And so we were like, well, hey, we should watch this movie. And it's how to describe it. It is a I guess to be real blunt about it, it's a gay rom-com about the son of the American president and a British prince, and they are very secretive about their relationship, and that's all I want to say. I will also say, though, it is a much less cheesy rom-com than you might expect, given, the title and the picture and everything. It's more graphic in language and visuals than like your typical Hallmark movie or something like that. So it's worth a watch. And then we watched, this was a great experience. We watched The People's Joker at the Music Box, and the writer, director, star Vera, Vera Drew, I think, was there in attendance and did a Q&A, and we got to briefly talk with her after the movie outside. And there's a whole lot about this movie, and it tells the story of a trans person, partly in their childhood and partly in their adulthood, and how they sort of deal with that. But it's all told through the DC comic characters, Batman and Joker, etc. But she was being sued by Warner Brothers, and she won, to say I have permission to use these characters and such. And it's a lot of really interesting CGI and green screen, and it's very odd and creative and funny and weird and heart-wrenching, and it's got all the stuff, and it's very much worth a watch, and it's been winning awards. So if you can find it, I think you can buy DVDs now, and I think it's streaming. And The People's Joker, please, 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 please go watch it and support incredibly independent filmmaking and such. All right, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for checking it out and all my other episodes. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.